Good morning! Welcome to home economics class. I'll be your teacher, Luna. Whatever gender you are or aren't, or for any age under the sun, it's important to learn how to feed yourself, how to take care of where you live, and the basics of how to budget. Although domestic skills are greatly undervalued by society, learning them can not only help you save money, but can help you feel confident as a capable adult and live a sustainable life that can be better for planet Earth. Today, I'll be teaching you the basics of cleaning. The basics of learning how to clean is, what do you clean? When do you clean it? So today, we're going to be making a chore list, and I'm going to show you how. Super simple, as easy as possible. All right, follow me to the table. Let's take out basic writing materials, paper and marker, to start our planning. So, this method works whether you need to clean an entire home or just one room. So let's start by writing the biggest area for chores. So my apartment or my room, etc. I will write my home. Next, let's break it off into all the other rooms, the smaller areas. So for my home, it's kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, living and dining room, and my veranda. If you just live inside of a bedroom, this is where you'd start, and this would be your biggest area. And then you'd break it off into the smaller areas within your bedroom. Just a note. Last, I'm going to add a section at the bottom called miscellaneous to write down all the remaining chores I need done, but that don't belong to a specific area. Now let's write down all the tasks that need to be done in each area. So this is what mine looks like, and you can pause it for a little bit if you want to sort of look at what I need to do. Now that I know everything that I need to clean, I need to determine how often I'll need to do these chores. Each home is different as your personal habits affect how often the area is used or gets messy. I wrote out each of these tasks with a space in between each line. And I'm going to use that space underneath to write down how often I'm going to do the task above it. I'm going to color code my frequencies so you can see it better. And I would recommend you doing the same too so you can see it better on your sheet. It'll be as follows. Red is daily, orange is twice a week, brown is once a week, blue is twice a month, purple is once a month, and black is as needed. So I'm going to write all of these underneath the task and then jump around between the area tasks to give you an example of what each of these means and how I choose them. All right, here we are. So, making bed and washing dishes are a really good example of daily chores. You really do need to do them every day. I like to make my bed every day. Maybe it's not necessary for you, but washing dishes, you gotta do that every day or you get bugs. If you're using this as a guideline for yourself, you can pause it and look at the frequency with which I choose to do things. And once again, note that this is how much sort of traffic each area takes. So then sweeping the kitchen is something I do twice a week, as well as sweeping the living room and dining room as well, because of obviously the frequency at which that's used, and also we have food in there. Whereas I only sweep my bedroom once a week because I don't bring food in there, so it's mostly just sort of dusties and hairs that goes around. I mop once a week, living room and dining room, as well as the kitchen, once again because of frequency, but my bedroom I only mop twice a month. A great example of once a month would be like cleaning the fridge. That only really needs to be done once a month. It's sort of a deep cleaning. Or wiping down my patio furniture and cleaning that stuff up. As needed is only used 3 times in this chore chart. And I would note that as needed is a category that takes a lot of maturity. So I would avoid using it as much as possible when you're first learning, as it can take a lot of experience and discipline to monitor chores without a schedule or a chart, which is why you're making this. So even as experienced as I am, I really try to use it as little as possible because putting everything on a schedule kind of does the brain power for you all at once. All right, so the next step is to transfer all our chores onto a new paper separated by chore frequency. All right, here it is. So all that's left is to write in all these chores planned out on the calendar. To save writing space, if you want, you could simplify by combining like items. For example, all of this over here, bathroom sink, mirror, toilet, bathroom floor, could be combined into cleaning bathroom basics. Or, in the same category, twice a month, I am cleaning the bedroom furniture tidying and the living room
and dining room furniture tidied. I could combine those just to be tidy furniture, since that really is all the furniture in the house done at the same frequency. A final example of this is once a month within the same frequency, I am cleaning the sliding glass door and cleaning my bedroom window. Now for my apartment, that is all the windows. So I can literally simplify this into clean windows. Doing this helps me save space on my calendar instead of writing down all these tiny things. But I would still keep this overview chart so I can reference it whenever I want. For example, sometimes I might go over to Clean Bathroom Basics and go, wait, what does that entail? Do I have to clean the tub? And then I go over and I look and go, no, this is what I have to do. Cleaning the tub is only done once a month. Great! One last note before we leave this planning sheet. Remember, this isn't a stagnant chart. I once thought that I needed to clean my bedroom mirror once a week, like I did my bathroom, but I later realized it didn't get that dirty, so I changed it. Remember, this is a learning process. All right, let's go over to the kitchen and see the calendar. Here it is! All right, so I went back a month to March because as I'm filming this, we're only halfway through April. So I wanted to show you what a full month looks like. So we buy a calendar with big boxes so we can write in everything really clearly, okay? So I have a sort of stamp that makes these little check boxes, but you can just draw them in if you want to. So typically at the start of the month, we sit together or stand together in this kitchen and we plan out all of our chores for the month. And we can, like that, we can take into account any big events that we want to, okay, I don't want to be chores on this month. We have something big. So for example, for Passover weekend, I'm going to have a Seder. I don't want to clean anything that weekend, so it's blank on that day. Then we keep a marker in the kitchen, and whoever does a chore just comes over here with a check mark and crosses it off, and that's done. That's done for the day. And if we don't get something done, then it gets crossed off with 3 marks, 3 lines of the pen. So as you can see, we are not perfect. This month, we definitely struggle to keep up with sweeping the living room and dining room as often as it was needed. So you see I missed it there, and there. And then also we missed bathroom basics on that day. So, you're human, you're gonna not get everything perfect. It's okay. This is a learning process. And also, even if you're as sort of like experienced as I am in this, life happens. I don't know what happened that we kept just not getting that thing done, but obviously something happened. And that's great to sort of look back and see, what am I struggling with? It's just really good to be patient with yourself and just learn and grow from this. But it's just so much easier for everyone in the household, if you have multiple people in your house or multiple people who are doing this with you in your space, to just be on the same page, just come over and be like, what needs to be done today? And then that's done, So this is really, really, really useful, whether it's just you or whether it's multiple people. And obviously you can do this digitally. I never follow digital calendars. I don't know why I struggle. I need things written down. I need to see them. I need to write. I need to feel the paper. So do what works best with you. And yeah, I'm tired of talking with my hands, so I'm going to move over to a picture of me that's right over here. So it's kind of like I'm talking to you. All right, so I hope that this was helpful and useful for you. If there's anything that needs further clarification, please feel free to leave your questions or comments in the comment section. I put out new lessons every new and full moon. So till next time, bye.